Awesome. So this has been great. I wanted to shift gears a bit and kind of talk about branding and networking
Mm.
because it's this nebulous term that if especially if you come from the military or you're a military spouse and you haven't had previous experience to it, which I didn't when I was transitioning, you may not really know what a brand is, why you should care, or how to create one. But I would argue it's essential in any role, regardless of whether you're Salesforce or not Salesforce affiliated, but especially with this ecosystem, it is critical. And so, with Nana, with regard to creating and sharing your personal brand, how would you define your brand, and what are some of the activities that you engage in to market it?
Yeah, that's really interesting. We talk about brand, and I'm like, my brand, huh? I guess I have a brand. Um, my brand is, I tell my 17-year-old son that I have more Twitter followers than he has. I just topped 5,000. Thank you. Very exciting. But, from a brand perspective, my brand is really, I am super authentic about what I'm passionate about. I am passionate about learning. End of story. I love to learn new things, right? And that is where I'm passionate about. It's where I have the best voice. I like it when I learn something new and I can teach somebody and show them what to do. And so, back in the day, I started a blog and started my Twitter handle, and even on the Trailblazer community is really about, kind of just, I would constantly like post about, here are some of the new things that I learned. Did Tuesday tips for a really long time on LinkedIn. I need to get back into that because it's a lot of fun. Just every Tuesday I would post a tip, just something cool and new that I think people might not know about. Because it's exciting because I'm like, what? You don't know that? It's so much fun. And so, I've always tried when I've even write my blog posts, just like I'm talking now, that's how my blogs read. I don't try to be anybody other than who I am. I'm not trying to be some other person. And I think to me, that's the key about developing your brand. Find the thing that you are passionate about, right? Within the community. If you're passionate about like security, some people are. If you're passionate about analytics, not my favorite thing. Or marketing, wherever that thing is that you've kind of found. Maybe it's helping people, right? In-app guidance, things like that. Find that thing that you're passionate about and make that your brand, right? Join all the groups. Talk about it all the time. Post a tip. People tell me, I don't know what to post on LinkedIn. Well, I don't either, you know? And sometimes I pick up something and I'm like, everybody's probably already heard this before, right? You can find this on the community. People already know this, but you know what? Somebody doesn't. Somebody's brand new. Somebody doesn't know it. And it's okay if 80 people know it. If one person sees it that didn't know it, guess what? They've learned something and you've taught somebody something. So post it. Who cares? Who cares if nobody's going to comment and go, everybody knows that already. That is not how this community is. They'll be like, oh yeah, that's a cool feature, So just find something that you're passionate about and be authentic about it and go all in.
Yeah, those are great points. And to circle back on something you mentioned, content really is what drives your brand. And to your point, it doesn't have to be this earth-shattering, original new content. It can be something that that maybe you shared from somebody else that half the people that are looking at your content didn't see, and they're appreciative of the fact that you're highlighting it again. And I know there's several folks on this call that share the post that I put out with their communities. So for example, Derek Scott, who's on the call right now, really appreciate the fact that he shares the posts and he injects some humor into it. So I always look forward to reading my posts as shared from him because he's got a great sense of humor and it's worth a laugh. And obviously I appreciate it from a branding perspective because he's getting the word out. Geraldine, puts together a kind of the insightful points from each session and shares resources connected to those insightful points. And so that's really cool. And so, if you're new and you don't necessarily, have a whole lot of experience, you don't have to Nana's point, post about something that you're passionate about, that you're interested in, and grow that.
Mm-hmm.
And something that Nana said earlier, if you have questions, that can also be a post. And that's how
Yeah.
I got started. I just asked questions until I knew enough to be able to offer something in return. And then, the I guess, then I went from really asking questions to posting original content. And now obviously that's morphed into hosting live sessions and sharing them on YouTube. So you can't get good at it unless you start.
Mm-hmm.
And again, to Nana's point, it's a very kind community. So, no one is going to come down on you for trying to share something with the group and advance, the state of knowledge and enrich the community.
Not at all. Not at all. And what is going to happen, yeah, I mentioned this before, is it gets your name out there, right? And you start to meet people. You start to make connections with people, just like Dave did with Mark. um, and those people can open doors.